Welcome to Sideshow Con.
This is it, day 5 of Sideshow Con. I'm Chris.
I'm Athena, and we are really excited. It's the big finale. Chris, what are we looking at?
We are looking at superheroes today. We got superheroes on the brain. We just saw Superman. It's superheroes galore over here. So in studio, we here at Sideshow are gonna take a look at some of those superheroes from the world's finest at DC to that merry band of mutants over at Marvel. Let's take a look at those superheroes right now.
From the world of DC, we're looking at 2 brand new DC pieces by Hot Toys. First up, Dr. Jonathan Crane, Scarecrow.
Would you look at that creepy mask? It is terrifying. The texture on that thing with all of the little burlap details.
All of the little stitching, all fully sculpted, and we see the eyes behind the mask. Those are fully movable, making it even creepier.
The best part is that if you're looking for Cillian Murphy's handsome face, no need to look very far. It actually comes with a separate head that looks exactly like Cillian Murphy.
This 2.0 is the very first time we've seen an unmasked portrait, and it is absolutely stunning. Of course, that works really well with this beautifully tailored suit. Whitney, what did you notice in there?
If you take a little peek under the right part of his suit jacket, you will notice that he has all of his gear impeccably hidden so that he can blend in.
Now, he's gonna come with also a backdrop to give you more of the feel of Gotham, as well as an attachment onto the stand, giving that Streets of Gotham look.
And from the streets of Gotham City all the way up to the skies of Metropolis, we have a brand new Superman figure.
Brand new, Whitney, but for me, it's a throwback to the original look. The bright blue, the bright yellow, and the red trunks. I love this look. I'm so glad that they did this.
You can tell that James Gunn had a lot of James fun when he designed it.
Going with the classic suit, but then giving a bit of modification. We have the texture in the suit that you see there, but a fully posable figure. And there, of course, you're gonna have to have a large red cape, fully posable with all the wire inside.
Oh, absolutely, you're gonna have to be able to pose that cape because he's flying through the skies, baby. You gotta have the wind blowing in there.
Let's talk about the portrait. Yes. This is incredibly beautiful. And then the moving eyes. As we know, the stare of Superman is pretty darn intense, and you're gonna get to be able to decide where that glance goes. But something else that's all brand new about this figure is the way in which you see it on the stand, Whitney. This is an all new design. It's a magnetic attachment on the back of the figure that allows it to kind of lift right off that Fortress of Solitude base there and take him into flight.
And you do not want Superman to fly alone. He needs his little buddy. He needs Crypto right beside him with a matching cape that is also full of wires that you can pose.
I love that they have included this. We are incredibly honored to be able to take a look at these prototypes. Now, I am really excited to fly in these bright pops of color onto my shelf at home.
Now let's take a look at 3 new third scale busts from Tweeterhead, continuing their DC Universe line, but exclusively available through Sideshow.
Let's start with Catwoman, the amount of bling, okay? We've got it on the belt, we've got it on the ring, we've got it on the cape, and then of course that jewel that she's taken, but also shimmering are those green eyes.
I love all of the sparkle to it. She's got that classic beauty makeup going too. I love the kind of subtle eyeshadow. She's even got the little beauty mark on her cheek there, the red lips, all of that perfectly coordinated to heist some valuable gems. And then she's rocking those sharp claws as well. She's got that beautiful manicure.
Speaking of one who is classy, particularly in the dress, is the Riddler.
Yes, he's sharp dressed and he's got a sharp mind as well. I love the details on this. Again, kind of a very classic, almost campy, the fun side of the Riddler's personality with that, and all of those green highlights throughout his suit and his hat. And then we've got really unique textures here also with the almost leather-like purple gloves he's got going on.
Let's bring up that expression. Behind that mask, we've got this diabolical, almost maniacal look. And yes, that is an expression that Amy has given me from time to time. I just really like that that's what they've chosen, because we're not sure what he's gonna do.
And they're both tied together, sold separately, but with those unique kind of Gotham Art Deco bases. Very classy, very classic for these 2 rogues. But now we're taking a look at the third piece in this display here. This is the unpainted prototype. So you're not seeing living clay here. This is the unpainted prototype of the Clayface bust. And this guy's massive.
We've got the oversized hand here and even more story elements on the back.
Yeah, I took a look back there and it was I don't even want to look again. It's really creepy. There's faces coming out. There's holes in the clay. It's so gross. And he's really one of Batman's more slippery rogues. And I wouldn't want to come face to face to Clayface with him anytime soon. All of these look amazing together, and they are coming soon exclusively through Sideshow. But Tweeterhead isn't just doing villains. They're also doing DC heroes as well. So let's take a closer look at a really exciting collaboration between Tweeterhead and Legendary Beast Studios.
Now, this is the very first time that Legendary Beast Studios has been available in the US, and it's a Sideshow exclusive. The next thing, Amy, is these are 6-scale statues, so they're right up my alley.
What you're seeing here is a completed prototype for Superman and 2 unpainted prototypes for the rest of the Trinity, Batman and Wonder Woman. Let's begin with Superman leading the way.
The pose itself, when you think Superman, that's the type pose. It is the confident hero, the wind-blown cape, the upward gaze, but then all of the storytelling elements down on that base.
I'm obsessed with the paint job of this. It really looks like a kind of copper bronzy plaque. Got the eagle emblem and some other characters from his supporting cast all the way throughout.
Now let's go on to those unpainted prototypes, but stick with the base, because this Batman base has a lot of story behind it.
I'm so excited to eventually see what these are going to look like in full paint. Batman is standing on top of the bat signal itself. All the way around the base, he's got tons of faces sculpted in here that are some of his greatest villains, but also his Bat family.
Batman has that stern expression, and the cowl has those elongated ears. But I like the flip of that cape. We really get the breeze going on that.
And then we've got Wonder Woman over here looking so regal and strong, and I love the muscles that they've given her.
Getting to see these in that grayscale really allows you to see the detail that goes into all of that sculpt, even before all of this unique paint. And then more story again down on this base.
Even just in the sculpt here, you can see the kind of classical Greek style of storytelling with art tableaus and pottery and stuff. So I am thrilled to see what this is going to look like.
To find out more information about these Tweeterhead and Legendary Beast Studio pieces, make sure to go to side.show/con. Continuing in the line of premium format figures by Sideshow, it's Superman!
And Crypto!
Now this is an early prototype sample of the Superman and Crypto, but because now that we've seen the movie, we're enhancing these pieces to deliver the quality fans truly deserve. Our artists are hard at work making sculptural and paint changes to these figures to make sure they're as accurate to what you see on the screen. But we're so excited, we just had to show them off.
James Gunn has really brought this version of Superman back to his roots. He is showing that so much with these vibrant, bright colors. The little gold trim around the Superman logo, it just makes the blue of the suit and the bright red of those trunks pop.
There are elements of Superman throughout the ages in this. Up at the collar, we see the design of kind of the new 52. Even though it is that solid colors of the blue and red, they've gone and added a texture to it, breaking that up. And then for me, what is always going to be my Superman is the wearing of the trunks on the outside with a nice big belt.
You gotta have the trunks, gotta have the big belt, but what about this cape?
Fully sculpted, and what that means is the way that it looks with the wind whipping through there, the texture, that is all permanently on there, and it's going to look perfect every time that you look at this thing. Now, there is a love story in this movie.
Move over, Lois Lane. We know that the real star is Crypto.
To go and mirror the relationship there, we not only have the collar, but we have the cape and that matching base. But the texture in the fur is so good.
And he has that classic Crypto ear cock to one side. That's the best part of the movie, in my opinion, is how expressive this little guy is and how he expresses that through that cocked ear.
Now, Whitney and I, we love this movie, and we're curious what your favorite scenes are, so let us know in the comments below. We can't wait to share the final look at these figures soon. Here are 2 brand new pieces from Prime 1 Studio and the world of DC.
Let's start with the Catwoman 1/3 scale statue from Batman Hush. This is a continuation of Prime 1's Hush collection, but she stands alone and is such a beautiful piece capturing a nighttime scene on a rooftop in Gotham.
There's so much off the comic book page, right in that suit. The design with these hash marks going through, which was a texture we saw on the page, and they've done that here in 3D.
It's such a unique addition because you would expect a sculpted super suit to be flat or very sleek, but I love seeing that because it really does just evoke that two-dimensional image then translated into a 3D design, and it couples really nicely with the colors to create that effect.
There's elements of Cat in the suit, of course the ears. This was the first time I ever got to see goggles on the Catwoman character, and I've loved that look ever since.
I love the blue lens here, and I love her eyes. I mean, she's got this kind of mix between the comic book and a three-dimensional sculpt character. Also, her eyeliner is on point. That's also fully sculpted in.
Hidden details. Amy, you and I noticed something about the design in the suit, and it's wrapped around the waist. We at first thought this was a really big corded belt with a heck of a front buckle, but it's a little bit more.
Yeah, it's her bullwhip. I think it's such a bizarre but really cool way to interpret that iconic part of her character. I like that we're getting some Easter eggs about one of my favorite characters in Hush, with some of the vines growing through, actually bursting through the gargoyle here. It looks great with the collection, but also stands on its own.
You talked about additional characters. There's two on here that I think are great, and that's the constant Cat companions. Particularly this one over here. There's a turn of the head, brightness of the eyes, and an almost smile. That adoring companion, always wanting to be by the side. I think that's great.
I think having cat elements on a Catwoman piece is such an essential part. I think that they are so cute.
Now, from the rooftops of Gotham to the cold Arctic.
This is the Superman quarter-scale statue by Prime One Studio.
Keeping with that cold Fortress of Solitude and that crystal structure all on the angles.
I can really feel it in this light up feature. It's illuminating throughout the entire piece and just adds a really cool reflectivity to the room.
On top of some of those, we've got a little bit of a sparkle, giving it a little more cool element.
Yeah, it adds some shine and a little extra movement to the piece as well, and I think it contrasts really nicely with the colors and the comic book page sculpt of Superman.
This is the Superman I know. The look, the suit, and the style. Really glad that they did it this way. And in that suit, they've done all of this incredible texture, but then the paintwork over it.
The paint is amazing, and it really adds the highlights and shadows, catching all of those details. It emphasizes the sculpt even more. I'm loving how it almost gets to that powder blue in the knees. We've got that kind of purple tone that sneaks into the emblem on his chest. And then, in addition, I really love the way that they've done his skin. You can even see the veins and the freckles on his knuckles, which is such an incredible detail, but it's just such a beautiful element that adds a little bit of warmth to this cold environment.
More of the storytelling that I'm getting from this is the unique look of the throne. Both arms aren't the same level, so it's not as regal, somewhat relaxed, but a little contemplative, a little introspective of what is he going to do next.
And we've got the stone and the crystal textures all the way through the back with an entirely different story to the piece here.
And that story is the single sun. We see him flying upward, but on either side are these large stone carvings of his parents holding aloft that family crest. So there's even more going on there.
I really like seeing the small version of Superman because it feels like he's backed by that family history. This is his past and where he's come from, and then we move again to the front and we see the man of tomorrow looking out ahead.
Now, if you'd like to get more information on either of these pieces, make sure to go to side.show/con.
Now let's take a look at some Marvel statues. Who do we have right here?
Well, he's not gonna let you forget that he's in the room. This is a MODOK. Look at that face. It is the MODOK that you know from the comics. It's the MODOK that you've seen in Quantumania. Just an angry, angry, angry guy at a really big head. Look at that grimace, those teeth. Oh my goodness.
I love the face, and the texture that they gave to his skin just looks so realistic. Pretty scary.
Well, even the way that the lip curls, you've got kind of spittle on the lip looks glossy.
Exactly, and I love how big he is, but also that he is actually hovering.
Yeah, it's kind of cool that he's got this big mechanized suit, this big head, but somehow that's sustaining him. He's able to hold up there. Now, MODOK comes in at just about over 19 inches in comparison to our brand new statue, Howard the Duck. Howard's standing tall at 11 inches, and I love seeing this representation of Howard because Howard's been in the comics for a long time. He had his own movie. He was in What If? He was in Guardians of the Galaxy. He's got this kind of grimace on his own face. So the two of these guys, both serving looks. And I love that he's leaning on, of course, the Daily Bugle, a Marvel mainstay. And there's plenty of Easter eggs to be found in the articles listed here.
The other thing I really love about Howard specifically is that combination that the artists use of the comic book style and the more realistic style. They really put those two together, the way he's standing, the angular shape of his head, and also the texture of his feathers. For more information on both of these characters, you can go to side.show/con.
Okay, Athena, let's take a look at 3 more here.
Oh, I love these.
Now, these are iconic characters, and the thing that the artist did here, they really captured their personalities, and especially in that Wolverine Berserker rage right there.
I mean, he's already a super intimidating character with a lot of rage inside of him, but here he's just losing control. I mean, look at the base. He's already torn it up. Not only that, but the base lights up with that red light, just giving him even more of an angry feel.
We're actually seeing that rage now coming out of him. Literally, you see the veins bulging, his muscles look huge, he's got veins coming out of his neck, his costume looks tight on him as if he just can't control any of it anymore.
Yeah, I mean, look at his face. He's gritting his teeth so hard, he might even break a tooth.
Yeah, look how far those claws extend, as if he's pushed himself to the limit here.
He definitely has. And the artists are so good at capturing so many different emotions with all of these characters. They can go from rage to something more romantic like Rogue and Gambit.
We do have our Rogue and Gambit diorama here, and you could tell these are 2 characters who are in love. They're happy, they're smiling, and I love that they're both using their powers. Rogue is flying and taking Gambit up with her, and Gambit's using his powers to create this nice pink kinetic energy filled with all of his playing cards, and I love seeing their powers on display like that.
It's very sweet, and I love that they're also using that element of they can't touch, almost touching just so slightly. It just really brings their love to the forefront of this piece.
Right, and Rogue's holding one of Gambit's cards, the Ace, which is very cute, and it's got a lipstick mark on it, so she probably kissed him through the card, which is just like the personalities of these characters shining through. The fact that their powers kind of contradict each other a little bit is on full display here. And last but not least, let's take a look at 2 characters who are certainly not in love. You got Wolverine and our gray Hulk here. And I love this because, you know, Hulk's always angry, but here even more so. He stepped right down here on the base, split that tree in 2. Probably didn't even notice.
Yeah, and I mean, his size compared to Wolverine is incredible. You can just see how angry they are at each other. They're just ready to go.
Absolutely. And Wolverine, we know he's got plenty of rage. We just saw it over there. It's so cool to see him in that yellow and brown costume. Everybody loves it. But Wolverine looks small compared to the size of the Hulk. And I think that the artist did such a great job of really showing that off, that the Hulk is a menace. And this is very reminiscent of when they fought in Incredible Hulk 340. And I love seeing parts of the comic come to life right in front of me. The artist really captured all these different displays of personality, from rage and anger to romance, and I think they're on display and they look really, really great. Let's take a look at a hell of a character. We've got our classic variant Ghost Rider premium format figure.
This figure is awesome. That paint job that the artists have put on there, even with the light off, it still looks like those flames are coming to life. But of course, when you put it on, you notice even more things. You've got this swirl in his mouth. But the other thing about this is that it's very comic book accurate. So if you are a comic book fan and you want that super accurate depiction of Ghost Rider, this is gonna be the figure that you want in your collection. Take a look at the jacket. We've got that light blue tint on there, and also the color of the bike is extremely accurate.
I also think the flames are such a character here. I mean, you've got the flames, like basically the bike is like roaring out of hell. You've got these flames encircling the wheel here. It's all over his face. You talked about the swirl inside, and the flames almost look like they're part of his hair. Like it's blowing back. He's driving the motorcycle down the streets, and I think this is really, really cool.
How big is this piece?
I mean, we're looking at 24 inches long, 21 inches high, so it's a statement piece. You need a lot of shelf room for it, but if you're a big fan of Ghost Rider, this is the piece to own. You can take a closer look at Ghost Rider and all the other Marvel characters we talked about today at side.show/con.
Here are 2 new prototypes from artist Tracy Tubera, the designer collectible statues of Hulk and Wolverine. Now, Whitney, this is the first time for you to see this style. So talk to me about what you get.
These are 2 of my favorite Marvel characters of all time, first of all. I am so obsessed with this art style. I love the bright, vibrant colors. They are so true to the comic books. I love that they look almost like graffiti that could leap out of a wall and give you the business.
Tracy has done a number of comic book characters for Sideshow, and we are really excited to have Hulk and Wolverine now join that group. Now, an element that continues in the line is that the characters wear sneakers.
a little something special about them.
Yeah, let's zoom in and take a look at the hidden elements.
Look at this little lowercase h on his shoelaces. I love that. He's popping out of them, but the shoelaces are still on point.
Over here on Wolverine, we're going to get W for Wolverine, but also take a look that we're getting the boot underneath the sneaker. So 2 pair of shoes at once. For more information about Hulk and Wolverine, head on over to side.show/con. It's the first member buy Hot Toys from the Thunderbolts, Yelena.
Now, we started seeing Yelena in the MCU all the way back in Black Widow. I loved her in Hawkeye. She was so great, and this is the latest Yelena in the MCU.
And let's talk about her latest look. We get an all-new hairstyle this time, which is spectacular, and an all-new, beautifully sculpted portrait of Florence Pugh.
Florence is gorgeous, but she is still very deadly, and you can tell by her gaze.
And that and all the weapons she has. She still retains a bit of those elements from her days as a widow. We see that here on the cuffs, but of course also the batons, her sidearms, and that deadly dagger right there. The full outfit made of fabric, allowing you to be able to pose it without any restrictions.
Which is great, because if you are trying to drag your friend back from the brink of the void, you need to be able to bend and stretch a little bit. I can't wait to have Yelena on my shelf, but do you know if they're coming out with any more Thunderbolts?
Well, Hot Toys has teased more members of the Thunderbolts, so follow along with our socials to find out more.
Calling all mutants, we have a brand new addition to Sideshow's X-Men Premium Format collection. This is the Cyclops Premium Format figure and the Cyclops fine art print by artist Ty Ramsa.
Okay, let's talk about the height and the angle on this.
This is such a dramatic and very unique action pose among all of the X-Men characters. I mean, you want to see them using their powers, and Cyclops has a very, very visually unique one.
Yeah, that energy blast going down, cutting and destroying the Sentinel down there, all of the wreckage there. But it's so unique to have something like that.
I love the propulsive elements as well, coming out, exploding out of the base, exploding out of his visor, and it looks so beautiful and dramatic the way it is with the coloration. You've got the white highlights, you've got the red elements as well, but this piece has a really cool feature. Let's turn on that light.
Boom.
Check that out.
Definitely the brightest light up feature I've seen on one of our premium formats, and such a large amount of it. I mean, the entire beam all the way down, and then of course that leather jacket just to be a little cooler.
It's so classic 90s X-Men, and the art team worked really hard to ensure that that light up feature had a wow factor. I mean, this is Scott Summers' optic blast. And yeah, I love seeing the destruction on the Sentinel too, because it's always a good day when the X-Men take down some Sentinels. But there's some Sentinels still standing over here in the fine art print. As I mentioned earlier, this is by artist Ty Ramsa and is an original design created to complement and be inspired by the premium format.
Now, you told me some really interesting design choices with the art print, that these are kind of 2 different parts of the story. Can you go into that?
Yeah, so Sideshow's art print department loves to create these complements to our 3D sculpture work, and so sometimes you'll get a representation that's almost very close to the design of the statue, but in this case, we have a kind of before and after scene. We see Cyclops, who is leading his allies, unpictured, into the battle, and we've got various stages of the Sentinel destruction. He is in full action, and so then you can pair it with the statue sold separately, but have that decisive final takedown as he leads the team.
Now, to add Cyclops to your X-Men team, head on over to side.show/con. You have been watching the Superhero Showcase here at Sideshow Con.
From comics to the movies, we got to look at so many cool pieces from Marvel and DC today.
Now, we've got plenty more, so follow along with our social channels. And for more information about anything you've seen on the show, go to side.show/con.
Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, don't forget to let your geek sideshow.